Finally! Now we are going to write our first email of the email series we will be sending to our subscribers. This email will be an informational email that will set the scene for a number of our future emails. So, let's look at the ingredients of the first product we will be promoting. It's Exipure. So, let's look closely at what Exipure does. Notice that Exipure is the only product in the world with a proprietary blend of 8 exotic nutrients and plants designed to target low brown adipose tissue, BAT, levels, the newfound root cause of your unexplained weight gain. For every tiny increase in BAT means a huge jump in calorie and fat burning and energy levels. Now, notice that each and every ingredient in Exipure indicates that it boosts BAT. So, explaining the importance of brown adipose tissue is going to be our job number 1. We need to do the necessary research so that we understand it and can clearly explain it to our subscribers. We must get our subscribers on board with this concept so they will want to take all the ingredients in Exipure. Now notice near the bottom of the Exipure product page are some references to journal articles about BAT and the various ingredients in Exipure. It would be good for you to read some of the articles, or at least the summaries, or abstracts, of the articles to get a better understanding of BAT, and how various ingredients affect brown adipose tissue. So, we're going to use a special part of Google that tracks more scholarly articles in peer-reviewed journals. This is useful for almost any branch of science, from astronomy to zoology. This specialized search engine is called Google Scholar. To get to Google Scholar, you can search for Google Scholar, or just enter the URL scholar.google.com. Once in Google Scholar, you can search for topics like brown adipose tissue or titles of specific articles. Here, we'll enter part of the title of one of the references given on the Exipure product page. Google then searches for all the articles that fit our search request. If we click on one of the articles, we will often view only the summary or abstract of the article. Often, that will be enough. But, some articles have a link on the right to the HTML or PDF versions of the entire article. The entire article gives us more details of the experiment that was performed, and helps us understand what was done to reach the conclusions presented in the abstract. This will help us explain concepts more clearly to our subscribers. Now, let's take some notes and examine the first article. Perhaps it will give us some good information. After looking at several articles, I found this one in the British Journal of Nutrition. This article contains a number of ideas that will be very useful to us. For example, one idea is, another tissue that plays a critical role in regulating energy metabolism is brown adipose tissue, which controls energy balance by thermogenesis through the unique action of uncoupling protein 1, which is highly expressed in this tissue. It goes on to describe an experiment involving specially bred rats. The rats were divided into 4 groups. One group fed a low-fat diet, while the other 3 were fed high-fat diets intended to make them fat. One high-fat group was given perilla oil, and they gained significantly less weight than the group given safflower oil. In addition, the uncoupling protein 1 level in the perilla group was nearly 85% higher than the safflower group, indicating greater brown adipose tissue activation due to perilla. While reading through journal articles takes time, and sometimes a lot of brain power, you will learn a lot, and will be able to better understand and explain how and why the product you are promoting works. And, the better you understand it, the more convincing you will be in your emails. So, don't think this is a waste of time. It, most definitely, is not. As I read through the articles and the search results, I copied information that seemed relevant to what I want to present. I included the journal, the title, and the URL of the article. I also created images of the article that I could display as I presented information from that source. As you can see, there is too much information to use in a short video. But, the information is good to know, and will help me to present the information I think is most useful. And, as you can imagine, it took some time to find the right articles and more time to read through them and select the most useful information. But, it will be worth every minute I spent on this task. And, now, it's time to create my first video. It will consist of some background information about brown adipose tissue, and some information about the first ingredient. I'll show you my result next.
Many people today want to shed a few pounds. They join exercise classes, go on long fasts, or start strange diets. But, all too often the weight comes right back. But years of scientific research has provided an important clue that will help you lose weight. A paper published in the journal Diabetes tells us about brown adipose tissue. This is a special kind of body fat that is turned on, or activated, when you get cold, by shorter days, and by some foods. An important quality of brown adipose tissue is it can use up lots of calories. It can produce up to 300 times more heat than any other type of tissue in the body. And, there is typically more of this brown adipose tissue in females than in males. The success of a weight loss attempt could well depend on the activation of brown adipose tissue to burn excess calories. This study analyzed scans of human patients. We see two bar charts, A and B, showing the number of deposits, and the percent of scans finding deposits of brown adipose tissue in each season. Also shown are two graphs, C and D, showing the monthly temperatures, and length of nighttime darkness in Nottingham, England, where the study took place. The data showed that the abundance of brown adipose tissue quadrupled between the summer and winter months. The amount of this tissue you have at any time helps determine how easily you can burn calories. This may indicate that the season when you actually start a weight loss program could partly determine whether or not it will be successful. Another article in the British Journal of Nutrition gives us additional information that will be helpful for weight loss attempts. The article tells us that omega-3 fats such as fish oil and perilla oil can actually reduce white fat pad mass. Some studies have indicated that these omega-3 oils increase thermogenesis in brown adipose tissue, causing it to burn fat. This research study examined this idea. Rats were used in this study because rats often mirror what takes place in humans. The rats were assigned to 4 groups and given either a low-fat diet of omega-6 safflower oil, or high-fat diets consisting of 10 times more of either omega-6 safflower oil, or omega-3 oils, of fish oil or perilla oil. The result was that the rats fed the high-fat diet of safflower oil had heavier white adipose tissue than the rats given the low-fat diet. But, the rats given the high-fat diets containing omega-3 oils had white adipose tissue that was comparable to, or even lower in one occasion, than the rats fed the low-fat diet. The final weight of brown adipose tissue did not vary between any of the groups. It is significant that the uncoupling protein 1 mRNA, which activates brown adipose tissue, was 150. 277 and 267% higher in the rats receiving the high-fat diets containing safflower, perilla and fish oils. Perilla oil seemed to have the greatest effect on the brown adipose tissue. In addition, leptin, which helps reduce your hunger and makes you feel full, was 30% higher in rats fed the high-fat perilla diet than those fed a low-fat diet. No other significant leptin differences were found among the groups. The authors indicate that it is reasonable to conclude dietary omega-3 oils increase non-shivering thermogenesis in brown adipose tissue, thus reducing overall body fat. What's becoming increasingly clear is that the foods you consume will determine your weight. Omega-3 oils, for instance, are much more conducive to maintaining a healthy weight than omega-6 oils. And, perilla seems to be a star when it comes to energizing brown adipose tissue to burn calories, and to produce leptin to make you feel full sooner so you don't overeat. Now, let's look at one more study published in the Journal of Food Science. As in other studies, mice were divided into 4 groups. One group was fed a normal diet with 10% of calories coming from fat. The other 3 groups were fed a high-fat diet with 60% of calories coming from fat. A high-fat diet is intended to increase body fat to make the mice obese. 2 of the high-fat groups were given purple perilla at a rate of either 100 mg per kilogram of body weight or 400 mg per kilogram of body weight. The concept we are testing in this experiment is to determine if there are dose-dependent effects of taking purple perilla. That is, if purple perilla has an effect, it should produce more of its effect and more purple perilla is given. The experimental feeding lasted 12 weeks. And, what results did the researchers observe? Let's look at these 2 bar charts. The first chart shows epididymal fat, which is metabolically active abdominal fat. The second chart shows mesenteric fat, which is an indication of both Crohn's disease, and C-reactive protein, which is often associated with disease activity. In the mice fed the normal, low-fat diet, both types of fats were low. But, the mice fed the high-fat diet had very high levels of both fat types. In the experimental groups given purple perilla, we see that the purple perilla caused less fat accumulation. And, the reduction effect was more pronounced as more purple perilla was taken. This confirms the dose-dependent effects of purple perilla. This study showed that purple perilla, at a dose of 400 mg per kilogram of body weight, was most effective at combating obesity by curbing weight gain, and it helped control lipid levels. If taken alone, this dose, if converted to a human dose, would be 1,946 mg per day for an average person with a body weight of 60 kg, or 132 pounds. Purple perilla is an herb in the mint family. It was originally grown in the mountainous regions of China and India, but is now found worldwide. If you think purple perilla could be of benefit to you, check online for sources of extracts of this natural plant.
Thanks for viewing our video. I hope it has given you some healthy ideas. Now, put them into action. Hope to see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day.
So, our first video is done. Now, we need to write the first email. We'll include affiliate links to Amazon for purple perilla and Exipure from ClickBank, as well as links to the articles about brown adipose tissue and perilla. We'll also include a brief mention of the value of brown adipose tissue and how one plant of the mint family can help torch fat from your body. Most of our information will be conveyed by the video. And, we're basically done. Congratulations! We're ready to work on the next email.